just want to let you all know that the session is going to run a few minutes over, but I tell you that it's well worth staying around. So, next we have Laurent.
So I'm actually going to start with a bit of a confession today. I don't know if we've got my slides before coming up. Yeah. So I think, considering the title of my talk, the confession might be a bit of a surprise. So I am a feminist. I'm a pretty proud and unapologetic feminist at that, and I'm definitely not alone. So one of the things I'm obviously incredibly passionate about is that men and women should have equal opportunities, whether that's in the workplace or outside of the workplace. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? It's really, really important to me that everyone is seen as a person as a whole, you know, for their values, for their skill sets, and not their sex or their sexuality or their skin colour. So I heard this statistic recently, and it was from a Hewlett-Packard internal report that said when it comes to job applications, men will apply for things typically if they hit 60% of the required criteria, whereas a woman needs to hit 100% of the criteria to even think about applying. And when you combine that with what I think is quite a well-known fact, that currently there are more CEOs called David than female CEOs in the FTSE 100, you know, I think you can see we've got a bit of a problem here. So I think the problem is perception. Whether that is the perception of women in the workplace or whether it is internal perceptions of ourselves. But that perception is definitely the problem. So this is what I mean by women create their own glass ceiling. We have enough limitations in the day-to-day without putting them on ourselves. So what do we do about it? You are probably going to be pleased to know I haven't got time to go into all the reasons why there are limitations. All I want to do really is just give you a couple of tips. And these aren't just for women, these are for anyone that struggles with their career or confidence or whatever that is. Just to help you push yourself forward and get to where you want to be. So, tip number one. You need to face your fear. What's the absolute worst thing that could happen? So I think when you see that dream job advertised and you read through the specification, you start to talk yourself out of it. And we've all done this. You look through and you go, oh, well, I haven't got that and I haven't got that. And I know I've definitely done it. When I joined HSE, I had no experience whatsoever. I just knew I wanted to do recruitment. My husband talked me into applying for the job. The internal recruiter talked me into turning up for the interview that he booked for me, and then I talked myself into actually accepting it. And yeah, we've all done this, and I think it again boils down to your perception of yourself. It definitely all boils down to fear. You know, are they going to laugh me out the door? Are they going to think that I'm wasting their time? Again, when I got the offer for the role here, I remember saying to my husband, I've completely blagged that interview process. I've got no idea how to do recruitment. You know, how on earth have they offered it to me? And he said, if you can blag 5 interviews, you can do sales. So that's that story for you. Sorry, boss. But on a serious note, what is the worst thing that can happen? You apply for the job, you don't get the job. You already don't have the job. So, tip number 2. You need to ask for what you want. And I think this is something we're all really, really guilty of. So, a recent BBC survey found that only 32% of women would be comfortable asking for a pay rise or a promotion, compared to 51% of men. So that's quite a big difference there. And this for me comes back to what Marion said about confidence being related to being prepared. That's a huge thing. If you're prepared for a situation, you're more likely to take that chance. So you need to know why you're good at your job. What is it that makes you stand out? What is it that makes you an asset to that company? Make a list, write it down, sit with your line manager and tell him, this is what I do, this is why I'm great at it, and as a result, I deserve that promotion. Now, he might not give it to you straight away, but what he could do is give you at least some objectives and you can work towards them to get the promotion eventually. So ask for what you want. And then the final tip is you have to have a career plan. That is just so important. So do you know where you want to be in 5 years? Do you know where you want to be in 10 years, 15? And then how does that affect every single day building up to that point? So again, when I joined, I had no experience, I was 22, and I knew I wanted to be a partner by the time I was 30. So what I did is I looked at every single promotion I needed, and there was 8 to get me to that point. So 1 a year, that's the plan. So every year at the start of the year, I would sit down with the boss, here's the business plan for the year, what do I have to do to get that promotion by the end of the year, and then work towards it. It's really sort of simple as that. So the message I just want everyone to take home today is that if we truly want, as women or minority groups or individuals, to be represented and to represent at the senior level, then we need to be visible and you have to take chances. So apply for the job, ask for the promotion, really push yourself forward. And I know my boss is in the audience, so Chris, we need to sit down about that pay rise. Thank you very much.
I used to think that the rules didn't apply to me. I didn't